small-sided football, football can really excel in India because the skill, the grassroots, etc., all starts in small-sided football.
Thanks. I think it's a very relevant point you've made. And look, we totally agree. I mean, the basic problems of geography, size of area, size of opportunities. So what we are trying to do is essentially use small-sided football to get more people, bring down the entry-level barrier into football. That's the idea of small-sided football. You can play in a room this size, you can play four-a-side, you can start now. And that's what we are trying to do, is start that in the schools in Mission 11 Million. We are giving PE teachers around the country, not just in English, but with diagrams, translated in their own languages, examples of how to run small-sided leagues in their own schools. That's where we are starting off. And our job is that and it's boys and girls mixed till class 7th, boys and girls separate till 8th, but everyone plays that game. And that's the whole idea, because we believe small-sided football is our key to opening that lock for, it's not 11 million kids is what we are targeting for this 1 year. There are 160 million kids in that age group. So to answer your question, yes, we are starting to teach schools with Mission 11 Million about small-sided football now. But how it moves forward, as I said, with the federation, we'll be having these databases, how we'll take these leagues forward, that's something that we are in the process of developing the roadmap. But for us, the first job is to get them interested and excited, and small-sided football is the way.
Okay, we've got time for perhaps one more question.
Hi, my name is Vikram, and I'm from Sportskeeda. So one thing that I've observed over the past few years is that as Indian audience and even as people in general, we have very short-term memories. So every 4 years, an event comes up, and around that event, we start creating a lot of talk about it. But after the event happens, everything just goes blank.
So what's the question?
So my question is that since we're going to have a lot of stadiums which are FIFA approved, after the World Cup, Under 17 World Cup gets over, do we have concrete plans wherein we're going to organize tournaments so that people, children of that age group have access to those stadiums and play on those stadiums?
So basically, stadia should not become white elephants. That's what he's...
Two things. One is that, thanks for the question. Yes, definitely. First and foremost, whenever FIFA goes into a stadium, and Javier said this very important thing, which, when he came 3 months into India, he said, do you know that India is just third in the world, is as high as third in the world in the number of 20,000 plus stadiums, capacity stadiums it has. There's the US, there's Japan, and right after that, that's India. It's unbelievable. No, or is it fourth? I think China is third. Yeah, it's fourth. China is third. So its facilities are there. The problem is we are white elephants. So you have a ground in Indore, let's make another ground in Indore right next to it, or Nagpur right next to it, which will have one cricket match in 5 years and lie there fallow. That's a big problem. So that's the first thing we work with. But the good thing is, FIFA has an infrastructure legacy plan. So not only do we put in this thing, we say, okay, these are the systems, this is what needs to be done. And there is a legacy plan built, because you're absolutely right. The good thing is we have not built any stadiums. What we have tried to do is work with the facilities that are already there. But the second, and I think more important one, is let's be realistic. You're not going to play that much in those big stadiums because it's a problem to play. And if you put on a flight lights, it's 1.5 lakhs a day, What is going to happen, and it's a real legacy to the cities, is interestingly the training sites. Each city has to develop 4 world-class turfs. And those turfs, other than the stadium, those turfs actually have to be better than the stadium because teams practice on it more often. And what we've told all the states is, you can't just build one turf and build one dressing room, because that's what a team needs to train. Build 2 dressing rooms, because tomorrow that turf is where the corporate tournament will be played, the under 15 tournament will be played, the school tournament will be played. So there are about 26, 6 into 4, 24, and the referees training flights. There are 26 high quality grounds, maintained, given with a legacy plan, handed over, which is going to be after that. And we believe that by the stadium, we will give a legacy, but the stadium owners will do what they do. The real legacy, we think, of the World Cup will be those 26 grounds where we think they could be used 200 days a year.
Okay.
Thank you.
The lady here, we've got time for one more question.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. I'm Garima from Great Sports Infra. I would like to add on to what Kunal and the gentleman from Sportskeeda had just said. We are right to say that we have white elephants in our country. But what if we can do and encourage the schools to have these artificial turfs in their schools, because 99% of the students play in school. Only 5% or 10% who have some interest, or those who can have those skills to play. What if we want to develop that skill at a level which will be played on international level?
So who are you asking this question of?
To
Joy?
Joy, sir, yeah.
All right, okay.
So, because if we are trying to get 3 or 4 fields in a state, that it's a beautiful idea to have those, but the main essence of this of a sport is there at the school, at the grassroots level, where we are focusing.
So let me paraphrase her question. That, you know, while kids are in school, you will goad them and push them into the grounds and whatever else. And after that, what happens?
No, but that's exactly, I think what she's saying is, are they artificial turfs or not? Look, the truth is, kids start playing, there are enough kids playing,
So they will naturally
it will
play
naturally
beyond-
come, and it has to come. The point is, what we can do is, we can't give 15,642, it was, what, at last count schools which we are targeting with Mission 11, we can't give each and every one of them an artificial turf. But what we can do is incentivize them that you can win contests, you can win prizes, you can do this, you can be featured, and try and incentivize the school towards giving more, try and incentivize states towards giving more. That's what we can do. The truth of it is, we can provide pull, and we can provide push in terms of getting people to play. We cannot provide push in terms of giving them infrastructure. We just don't have the capacity.
Actually, we have to, and we have to lay down some rules how to get these artificial turf, because being into that market, I have observed that there are few companies who are just into providing these turfs, and initially they are ending up providing a cemented base, and over there is a small pile height of grass, and students are falling, they are getting injured, and there are a lot of things which are happening, and it is present in Delhi and a lot of places in North India. But we are fortunate to have some kind of vision which we have in Bangalore or Pune kind of places, where people are interested to get into new concepts and providing a facility to their school level.
No, there are two issues. One is about the quality of the turf.
Yes.
The other is about the utilization of the turf.
Yes.
So I think the issues are different.
Issues are different,
Yeah.
and this is where we have to initiate and promote these schools to have a certain kind of play field, like we have some.
So can I just interject?
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's a very
can I-
long drawn discussion.
Can I just add on to what
Yeah,
she's trying
yeah,
to say? See, actually, it's a very good idea for a federation to approach the schools which are very well located, where it makes commercially viable to run the football academy in a small ground and make a turf, so that, you know, it can be used throughout the year as a play field as well as the football academy. I know people have done it in Pune. I think the model needs to be replicated. Regarding that white elephant, the issue is totally different. Let's not deal with that right now.
Correct.
But that idea is wonderful, and the federation and the government must work on it.
And
No,
multiple
in
schools
fact-
can use it?
In fact, there is.
Pardon?
Multiple schools can use it?
Yes, it's a multi-sports
idea
turf.
then.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I think when Mr. Das is here, he'll be able to tell you in much more detail, but in collaboration with FIFA, more than 8 to 10 grounds like this have already been done around the country, and every time we have an opportunity, we do make sure that with FIFA, fields, artificial turfs are being
See,
created.
Joy, let us be all very clear, and I'll be very upfront that much more needs to be done. When say I talk about, as a government of Gujarat, if I talk about scholarship to 20 players, it is good thing. But the population is 6 crore. So if you are talking about, say, 6 turf or 8 turf, it's a good beginning. But what she is talking about is 10,000 schools. Yes. Who will begin?
Sir,
It's the government
I
and the
can,
federation. We have to come together.
as a federation and a government, I can only tell you one thing, sir. Your Khel Mahakumbh budget would exceed my entire World Cup budget by 2.5 times. So
I'm really-
we
I'm
we
sorry.
need your support, sir.
See,
We don't have the money.
No,
One
I'm very-
grassroots
no, no,
field
I'm
costs
very sorry.
$750,000.
We are doing a cross talk, but it's not always the money. See, there are schools which is a play field located as it's a very prime location. Only ecosystem needs to be built. It's not a question of money. Even in 5 lakh or 10 lakh, you can build a grass and start playing a football. So we should also have some grassroots plan and to start working. I am quite sure it is not money. It's the government, federation, and the school authorities generally which are government driven. have to come together with a concrete plan.
I think Mission 11
Okay,
million is
Jo-
what
Joy-
we're trying
Joy,
to do on
we'll-
that.
We'll
but
end up.
I'll
We'll
wait
end
here.
up into a power which will eat into the next session. But before we start the next session, thank you very much, gentlemen, for your valuable insights. The next knowledge session is building the future. But before that, let's